I am short. Okay, sorry. Okay, so I just want to say, because Lee is Lee's kind of shy, and like he's very humble, and he doesn't like to talk about himself that much or anything. But I was gonna say Lee won a Golden Reel Award for Moulin Rouge, which was amazing.
About
And go ahead.
6 other nominations I didn't win.
Okay, 6 nominations. He didn't win. Okay. And he was the co-composer on Me, Myself, and Irene, which was a Jim Carrey film. And I'll never forget, like, when we were going out, and like when that happened, and his name was on billboards. And so we were like driving around Los Angeles saying, "Oh my God, there's her name!" I can't believe it. Like we got
On the side of buses.
and on buses too. We were like so excited. And then what happened was, when we first started dating, so we had just gotten this job. Lee was a starving musician living above an Italian bakery in Eagle Rock. When I fell in love with Lee, and then he had this job, and eventually, he started getting more successful, because I remember I was living above the bakery, and goes, "Oh, I'm making more money now, I can afford something nicer." So he got a place in Laurel Canyon, which was beautiful, and it was around that Italian restaurant, Coyote, then it was called, with those garlic rolls. Anyway, I remember when we started dating, I know I think about food. When we started dating, so we went out for Mexican food. It was, what was the name?
No, Lee, you don't get to run away.
That's embarrassing. Okay, so anyway, he had forgotten his wallet, right? So it's like, I had to pay, and he goes, "You know what? Let's go back to the studio and, get my wallet and pay you back." I said, "Oh yeah, no problem." So we go back to the studio. Was it Paramount? Anyway, and so he was working on Braveheart. So Mel Gibson was having a party there. And so we crashed the party. and Jodie Foster was there. I remember, and she was like, "Look, who's that?" It's like, because, we were just whatever. I can't remember how we were dressed. It was a long time ago. So we've been together 27 years. But I just wanted to say, and not to go on and on, but that Lee had a great career as a music editor. Like, do you remember Drumline? Did anybody ever see that? So he went to Atlanta, and he was like recording. And during his career, there were many times he had to travel even to Bulgaria. That's when he did Mechanic Insurrection. He had to travel to Canada. Different places. And so sometimes we were, we were apart for a while when he was working, and but he's just had like a great career, and we're so excited because he just has a studio to work on his music, and then some of his friends, and I'm really happy too that he started doing the Indian electronic music, because he loves that. He just had done the Astronomy Theater, and that was like the first time he played music since like the 1980s. He used to be in a punk band called Toxic Pets. Of course, that's before I knew him. And yeah, it's on YouTube. And so anyway, so I just wanted to say that he's just had a great career as a music editor, and we're just honoring that career, but that he's going to continue doing his music, and I'm very proud of him. And it was something else too, like when we would go to a movie that he would work on, then and then they have the credits, because we always, like in Hollywood, people live in Hollywood, they watch the credits because they have a lot of friends, like my friend Julie right here she was a dialogue editor for many years and did a lot of incredible films, and it's like, so anyway, so we'd be in the theater, and then Lee's name would come up, and be, "Yay!" And everybody would be looking like, "Why are you clapping?" Like, music editor, and I'm very proud of him. So I just would like everybody to give a big hand for Lee.
Thank you for presenting me with this lifetime achievement.
So something else too. When he won for Moulin Rouge, he didn't thank me, and I always said,
No, wait, I didn't go up on the stage.
"Oh
to
wait,
talk.
somebody else." Okay, oh, the other person from Australia ran up on the stage. You should have.
I
run
was
up on
not
the
the
stage.
head. I was not the supervising music editor, so
Yeah.
I didn't get to make the speech.
Yeah, it was a guy from Australia. And then I said, well, Lee, but when you go up, then you gotta like thank me. So if he wins something again or does something, then so you're supposed to thank your wife. But yeah, I think the guy from Australia, were you there? He ran up on the stage and then Lee didn't go. So Lee, go up on stage. And he said, well, that's okay. You know, it's like, and he should have, you know, but it's like, okay. But anyway, we'll give Lee one more hand. Just explaining why we're celebrating you.
Yes.
Yeah, and go on IMDb for a full list of his films and stuff. I
Yeah.
won't bore you. Okay.
Maybe Pat. No.
And
Okay.
now we have.
I'm gonna go run get a cable for Joe, and he's gonna play.
Okay, so next.
House music.
We are really, really happy that we, in a few minutes, we're going to have Joe Garcia perform, and he just produced a whole album that he made in Lee's studio, and the name of his studio is called Giant Rock Studios. Even though we thought Pat Kearns should have that name, but he wanted the Goat Mountain name because we said you're closer to Giant Rock than we are. We're closer to Giant Rock Meeting Room. I mean, that's true, you know, but which is a good place for pizza.
Somehow Flamingo Heights has a thing about Giant Rock kids.
Yeah, there's something about. Has everyone here been to Giant Rock? Raise your hand. Everybody's been to Giant Rock. You've never been to Giant Rock? You've never been to Giant Rock? Okay, near the near the Integratron. So yes, we're still waiting for his thing. Yeah. So okay. So I'm just giving.
Alice, you need to fill some time.
Pattern.
You need to tell why you're my closest friend.
I'm just
You got time for that?
maybe I should. Oh, okay. What are you gonna do? Okay, go ahead. Okay, here's Wink.
So while we're filling up time, thank you for I'm gonna raise this again. So while Alice and Lee were going, I knew Alice before she met Lee. That's how long we go back. And Alice is my closest. She's my closest friend, and I'm her closest friend. And here's why. You two are moving into the place for the first time?
In Silver Lake.
They were moving into their own place for the first time. In Silver Lake, a condo. They're renting a condo. And they had me come over first. Like, I'm like the first guy, because I'm going to like be dual electrical and like look at, check outlets out and phone cables and can put phone in an office or whatever like that. And we're into this condo. We're walking around, checking it with my friend Alice and Lee, And all of a sudden, Alice, in her very Alice way, she's like, oh, Wink! You're my closest friend. And I go, well, thank you, Alice. It's very sweet. I really appreciate that. Yes, because now that we're going to live here, you just live right over there. I'm her closest friend because I live the closest to the place. Well, Lee and I bust out double over, and of course she goes, what are you guys laughing? I don't understand what you guys are laughing for. So yes, that is the Alice Jones why we're the closest friend even now, even though you're the furthest friend away. It doesn't matter.
It's a good thing you drove out.
And there's still more time to fill.
And
Not much.
Oh, no,
you
wait,
see, that's why
Here, bend it
I
down.
I was a
Pull the mic
clown.
down. Pull it down.
Pull it
From the
down.
other end.
Oh, look
Oh,
at
that works. Whatever works.
Did I do it right? Yeah, so, and that's when I became a clown. because I was sometimes I would be funny and I didn't mean to be funny, but it just would come out, and so I think that's the point he's trying to make. That's what I was thinking. Like, he lived so close, so he was my closest friend. and so I didn't even be so sorry about that. So anyway, so now that I've talked, I think they're still checking. Let's see. Okay, it's good.
But I'm right in front of it.
And now we have. Now we have Joe Garcia. I'd like everybody to give him a big hand.
That's Joe City Garcia to you, ma'am.